But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
It's Eric DeSando, and I want to thank you for coming on my vlog. Today I want to talk about something that I absolutely adore, and that is relationships. I have been a single male for my whole life, and I'm not that young. I haven't gotten married, I don't have ex-wives, and I don't have children, and I'm not saying this because I'm better than any of you, I just haven't done it. But I have a unique perspective on this changing game in the single life. And the reason why I'm mentioning this to you is because it's going to be very difficult for you to build your personal brand, your business, anything you want to do to build your life. It's going to be impossible if you don't have somebody with you at some point. I am 100% convinced that the best and most productive time in my life, the most magical stuff happened was when I had a relationship. So, that's why just because I say I'm single doesn't mean I haven't been in relationships. I just haven't gotten married. Let me tell you why this is important. The great book written by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich has a whole chapter that focuses on love. He says in the book that the most fertile time for the entrepreneur to build his brand, his business, is the first 9 months of love. Not that it isn't after the first 9, but it's the most fertile. So relationship growing is very important, but we don't live in normal times. So let me tell you my impression on the relationship business coming from a male, and then maybe at some point I'll bring a female on and we can ask her about her impressions. So first of all, in the last, since about 2004, sugar daddy, seeking arrangement, and sites where women have learned how to get paid now exist. And even girls that aren't on those sites have been infected by this feeling of women that if I'm going to be with him, if I'm going to have any kind of intimacy with him, I need to be getting compensated. Maybe it's not a direct cash for sex, but it definitely has impacted the dating business, because a lot of women, almost every woman that I deal with in the Los Angeles area has been impacted. So you go on Tinder, you go on, you meet her on Facebook. I mean, it doesn't matter. I had a girl on Instagram. Within 2 or 3 messages, they're usually starting to figure out what are you looking for? That's the key question, and that question isn't about what they're looking for. It's what they're looking for, which is they want to be taken care of in some capacity. They want to know if you can do that, if you're open to that, if you're open to being generous with them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but I want you to try to avoid a pay-for-play deal with any female. Once a woman goes to that level, she's pretty much corrupted and won't add value to your life. And again, if you're a woman watching this, you can come back at me with, there's tons of men that want to do this. They're also corrupted, and they're not going to provide high value to you. And let me tell you why that is. Vibrationally, if you're a person that is about money, it's an incredibly low vibration. And what does that mean? What that means is you're going to attract equal types of vibration. I'll give you an example. In 2011, when the trade centers got hit, the trade centers represented, in a lot of its cases, there was a lot about money and about making money. I don't want to use the word greed, that's too strong a word, but it was all about money. Terrorism is also a very low vibration, so both the idea of getting as much as you can and terrorizing, believe it or not, there's a very strong vibrational connection between those two things. And I believe, and again, this is just my theory, that that's one of the reasons why that happened. Of course, 3,000 innocent people lost their lives. I'm not in any way wanting to demean any of that. But I do think you have to look at why and how, and you should do it from a spiritual perspective. So back to you. You attract a woman into your life that you're basically paying for her time. I mean, you're rationalizing it because she's beautiful and younger, and this is another thing, guys. Typically 40-year-olds aren't doing this. This is your 20 to 30 range. The ones that are 36 now that were doing it in their 20s are bitter and angry because they don't have the youth to be able to get paid the way they used to, and I find a lot of those women tend to be very difficult to go out with. But again, this is from a male perspective. But you need to be careful about putting that person in your vibrational field. They will lower your vibration. You could lower their vibration if it's the other way around, if you're that guy. You want to find people that are givers, that think about helping before they think about getting. Those are gems that you'll find. Many of us find them and then screw them up because we're not used to them and we take advantage of them. I highly recommend you look for them, and when you find them, treat them good, because you can treat them good because they're never going to take advantage of you. They're always thinking about what they can do to serve and help others. But you need to build that person in your life. So if you're a single male in any city in this country, and again, it doesn't play as well in Columbus, Ohio, where my father lives, because in Columbus, Ohio, people marry in their early 20s. They've already had kids in their mid-20s, late 20s. There's not as much of a single market, so you're not seeing it, but it's going to go there. It's going to affect Ohio. It's going to affect everywhere over the next 5 to 10 years. In Europe, it's not as prevalent, although there is some in Europe. But it's an infection. It takes about 10 years to set in. This idea of pay for play, or I'm going to get me some out of him. I mean, I could show you guys text messages from dating that you would just laugh. You can't. I mean, she goes right into. These are people I met normally that are just going right into what am I getting? You know. Let's have a mutual beneficial relationship. You know, what do you think about having a mutual beneficial relationship? This isn't going to be beneficial for you. A person that's on the take is going to take everything they can from you, including they won't give you much emotionally, they won't give you much support in areas that are not financial, and you can't trust them. And anybody who would trade their bodies for money is a person that has serious internal valuation issues. So you want to be careful. But you know what? Being single has its advantages too. And you know, when you get that person in your life that you know you can trust, it's because of the fact they're not always on the take. So that's something you need to work on. I need to work on. I'm looking for the next great love of my life. And I'm going to have to sift through a lot more nuclear bombs, because that's what it is. And I'll just finish with this. Like, we have a thing called dream killers in this town. We call them dream killers. They're women that have been known to attach themselves to wealthy men or successful men and ruin their careers. They don't do it like they don't ruin it. It's the energy of them ruins it. And it's because those are almost always women that were in the sugar daddy, dancers, you know, like exotic dancers. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, you might be a great exotic dancer, but you've been conditioned to get money. I just had a girl say to me, oh, I'm going to work tonight at Plan B. In Los Angeles, Plan B is a place where you don't take all your clothes off. So, okay, it's not like you're naked, but it's all about how much they can get out of men. So men come there and they have drinks with them, and so those type of people typically don't make great partners, and they won't add value or vibrational lift to you. And you have to have that if you're going to build the brand you want to build. You need all the lift you can get. All right, everyone, have a great day. Well, leave comments below. I'm sure you have some of your own ideas, and maybe you will disagree, which is okay too. It's only my perspective. And my partner's been married 38 years successfully, so it can happen. Love you all.
Cut.